to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, and have faith or pandemonium is liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do when everything looked so dark? Man, they said you got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, and have faith. A pandemonium is liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do when everything looked so dark? Man, they said you got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, no, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Accentuate, eliminate, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Good morning. Raise your hand if you're here. All right. Almost a full thing, huh? So this one, I'll sing a line and then you sing it right after me. Dawn's gonna help you out. She knows that singing thing. I send my love over the mountain. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and we sing this together. And it returns to me. Oh, we got it. Send my peace over the mountain. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns. And it returns to me. It returns to me. I send my prayer. I send my prayer over the mountains. I send my prayer over the sea. I send my prayer into the heavens, and it returns to me. Here's a good one for today. I send my hope. I send my hope over the mountains.
Good to see you all this morning. I see you survived Turkey Day and can still walk, so that's a good thing. Well, are you waddling now? Aha, okay. So welcome to Unity on the Avenue. We're always glad to have everyone who is in the room with us this morning. When we think about it, we tell you that we are unapologetically inclusive, which means that everyone is welcome here. And at this time, I would invite you to join me in our statement of faith. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And our prayer chaplain for today is Penny Ware.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
And with that, surely the presence of God is in this place. Let us just take a moment to focus on our breath as we breathe in deeply and release it. We breathe in our hope and breathe out faith. As we are on this journey of Advent this morning, we affirm our hope that plants the seeds for our lives, and we have faith to know that as we create, it comes into fruition. And so it is. We are so thankful that we have hope, and we are even more grateful for the faith that we carry through in our lives. I may have once hoped God would help me. Now I have faith within that it is true. I can help myself. I may have once hoped for a life that I have dreamed of, but I know now that I have faith to create the life of whatever I want. It is all good. It is all of God. I know that through the power of my imagination that I can create. I know through my feelings and through my thoughts that I can create. And along with that, I know that with my hope and faith that I believe, I know. I just know that I know because I am mindful of my words. I am mindful as I start this wonderful Advent journey of hope, of faith, of believing, of imagination, of just knowing that I know that all is well. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you. Amen.
So I was at a New Thought Unity Songwriters Retreat, and we were tasked with writing Christmas songs, New Thought Unity Christmas songs, which is great. A lot of great songs came out of there, but I have noticed that there are not a lot of songs for Advent or solstice, so I asked my partner, why don't we write a song about that time of the year? So this is the one that we came up with.
Sometimes I'm blind, I cannot see my life as it is meant to be. That's when I let faith carry me till light returns again. And so it is since time began. There's always been a perfect plan. It took a while to understand the light and dark within us. Shortest day, longest night. And though we burn the candles bright, all is well and we're all right till light returns again. And so it is since time began. There's always been a perfect plan. It took a while to understand the light and dark within us. Shortest day, longest night. And though we burn the candles bright, all is well and we're all right till light returns again. Till light returns again.
As our world grows dark earlier and earlier, we look forward to light's return. Many cultures have celebrations of light to signify that light is returning again to our part of the earth. Diwali is known as the Festival of Light, and it is usually celebrated in October or November and was celebrated on October 24th this year. Lasting over 5 days, the holiday is celebrated by millions of Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs worldwide. Lights are symbolic of this festival and signify the inner light that spiritually protects them from darkness. It's the very first of the seasons of light, and it never makes it into Advent because of the time of year, but it's also intended to be celebrated to bring the light back. The Christian celebration of Advent is celebrated by the wreath of candles. And for those of us who are part of unity, that wreath of candles surrounds the Christ candle that symbolizes that the Christ Spirit is always eternal. It begins all things, it continues through all things, and it will always be present. The 4 candles of the Advent wreath symbolize the 4 weeks before the celebration of Christmas. An additional candle is lighted each week from the white Christ candle, symbolizing that all the powers of Advent, hope, peace, love, and joy, flow from the divine Christ light within each one of us. Usually this festival of light is followed by Hanukkah, which this year is going to begin actually on Christmas on December 25th and will end January 2nd. Hanukkah is also known as the Festival of Lights and is a Jewish festival commemorating the recovery of Jerusalem and subsequent rededication of the Second Temple. It is celebrated in the homes rather than in temple and is a nightly menorah lighting, special prayers, and special food. Kwanzaa, which we will celebrate, is the annual celebration of African American culture from December 26th to January 1st. It was created by activist Mwali Karinga based on African Harvest Festival tradition from various parts of West and Southeast Africa. There are 7 values of African culture that help build and reinforce community among the African Americans. The Kwanzaa candle holds 7 candles, one for each value that is taught by this ritual. Today, our Advent calendar for hope is lighted. Today, millions of people around the world will be lighting the first candle of Advent. The world will then start a journey together as we celebrate and learn to look forward to the Christmas story and what that means in our own lives. From the Far East, the first candle of hope is symbolized by the wise men from the Far East, And it goes on to arrive on the 12th night after Christmas when the wise men represent good ideas in us. Thoughts and feelings as we have built in our souls are never lost. They travel from within us to bring us gifts from our own unique answers to prayers. The Christ Spirit lives in us. This is our hope of Christmas, that our long travels will lead us to the divine light within. So when we look at Advent this year, when we look at hope, I'm wondering how many of us are actually feeling hopeful. Many of us are actually feeling hopeless, as I have interacted with people throughout this coming year. It feels like hope has been overtaken by cynicism, by distrust, by a reluctance to enter into life fully. And the one element that we believe is most important we can confer to anyone, especially those battling with depression, is the renewal of hope. And I actually have a question for you this morning. When you think of feeling hopeless, as I'm guessing throughout your life from time to time you have felt, what is your secret to reclaiming hope? What is it that you do because you know when you're in the pits that we can't stay there? And I'm interested in knowing what it is that you do. And I will give each of you an opportunity to talk, and it looks like Wanda's ready to start.
It only takes a moment to see another human being and to see a sparkle in their eye, or even if they're downtrodden, to know that there's a sparkle in my eye, that I can lift them up. And I believe in a hopeful God. I believe in an absolutely awesome, good God. And she would never leave us in a place of hopelessness. And so I have a lot of hope. I think this is a time of radical transformation for each of us individually
and for everybody that we come into contact with, because we are a transforming light for them. So I'm never giving up hope. I get sad from time to time and maybe a wee bit angry about some of the craziness, but I cannot, what is it? There's an old pastor that said there's a thing called hope and I can't get it out of my mind. Something like that, and that's where I am.
Thank you. Who else would like to share?
I just make myself get out and move outside in the sun, and knowing that every day the sun is going to be there makes a difference. And to move my body and connect with Mother Earth, who loves us all every moment and holds us.
Cool.
That helps me a lot.
So living in Colorado is a good place for you because mostly the sun's shining here.
Yes.
I find when I'm down that, and I guess at times I have felt hopeless. If I can just start by writing 3 simple things I'm grateful for that day, it takes the focus away from the hopelessness, and it gives me something that I am grateful for, and sometimes it can be a simple task. As you know what, I got the dishes done today. I got out of bed. I ate breakfast. That's where I start, is from the very basics, and for lack of a better word, from the bottom up. So,
Thanks, Lisa. Yes, Nina.
I live by the adage, this too shall pass. And it does. It usually does. It may take a while, but it usually does. And that God will give us not so much what we want, but what we need. We may not get it right away, but if we ask in all honesty and earnesty, we will get what we need.
Okay. Hi, I'm Katie, and I come to the Monday night meditation here, and Penny and Estaine mentioned your services on Sundays, so I wanted to visit you all.
Cool.
And thank you for letting us use your space.
Oh, well, we're happy to.
And I go to that group for hope. It's not so much unlike this group. Everybody gets a chance to speak. I haven't always been a very good cook, but lately I've been finding a lot of joy in cooking. And cooking for other people makes me joyful and hopeful.
Great. Thank you.
You know, I turn it over to God. That's what I do, is I offer it up. If it's depression, if it's feeling overwhelmed, whatever the feeling. And then I try to get out of myself by connecting with others. If I'm busy helping somebody else, I'm probably not thinking about myself so much. And it kind of lifts or alleviates that, at least for a while, and pretty effective.
Yep, thank you. That is a good anecdote to hopelessness, getting out of our head. Sure, Linda.
Well, for me, connecting with others, especially ones I may not have talked to for a long time. Like, I got hold of my mother's 90-something-year-old friend the other day. I've called her over and over and never any answer at all. And to hear her say that she's lost her sight in one eye and she's very limited now with needing to use assistive devices, and to hear her say, you know, life is still good. It's hard, but it's still good, and that really helps. The other thing I've done is I've gotten into audiobooks of historical fiction of women who have been through rough times, and just seeing how they've made it through, and that's really been very helpful.
I agree. I tend to use a book, a TV program, a movie, an old movie that I've seen over and over again that I know when the movie is over, I will feel better than I did when it started. So that's part of my own tricks that I use. Anybody else would like to share? All right. So Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with joy, peace in believing, so that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit," or the divine spirit that is already with you. So when we're hopeless, if we can take our attention and move our attention, whether it's to help somebody else, whether it's to remember something that brought us joy in the past, whether it's to know that God is always with us. Each of us has, I hope, our own approach to not staying in a place of hopefulness. And Advent is a time of beginning with hope. If you can imagine living hundreds of years ago, when there would be no light except perhaps a candle, a fire, and it's dark from essentially 4:30 in the afternoon until 7:30 in the morning almost. That's a long time to be without light. And choosing to focus on hope that the light will return. So there's the physical daylight that we're talking about, but there's also the light of joy that we want to return to our own sense of being. I found that while I choose to honor every facet of being, both the strength and the vulnerability, I can do that by loving myself. Loving myself when I'm not feeling lovable. Loving myself when the world seems to not work. We're often called to navigate the obstacles that occur in our paths, to stand tall in our mistakes, to find beauty in the weeds of life. Throughout my life, I have found that some life review of my own and even others' histories, meditation, journaling, heartfelt discussions have provided ways of developing a positive mindset that allows me to feel confident and calm and full of hope for the future. It helps when we come together in community. It helps when I hear each of you share what brings you from a place of hopelessness to a place of hope. As I was working on this talk this week, I was reminded of the words from The Wind Beneath My Wings, Bette Midler. Most of you probably know that song. I could fly higher than an eagle because you are the wind beneath my wings. Finding our own way back to living in and with hopefulness is the beginning of our path to finding the comfort of Christmas. I chose, usually it's the season of lights, and that's the overall heading for the whole month. But this year I'm looking for the comfort in Christmas, the part of Christmas that wraps around you like a warm afghan or a cozy blanket. The value of hope. Where does it go? In those moments when it's gone, what caused you to lose hope in that moment? It's like one moment, life is fine, and like that, suddenly it doesn't feel the same. And if you notice what sets that trigger off in you, then you can identify the trigger, you can identify the solution. Did someone say something to you that somehow diminished your hope, diminished your sense of self? Hope is our most valuable trait, the ability to feel hope-filled. Without hope, it's impossible to move to faith or to move to trust. You have to believe that change from this hopeless moment is possible. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." So we have to be able to hope even when there's nothing tangible to hope in or for. The approaching holiday season reminds us of the power of love, connection, and hope. As we gather with loved ones, it's also a time to reflect on the impact that we can have on the world around us. Can we be a candle burning in the darkness? Can we bring hope into a situation where others are hopeless? We can contemplate and consider together. We can expand our spiritual and cosmic vocabulary and allow the magic, the mystery of life to permeate every cell. It's possible. It's time to take the transcendent leap forward in hopes of a personal and communal healing as well as a shared cosmic future. Can we believe together that peace is possible in this world? Can we imagine it in our mind's eye? Can we see it happening? Perhaps coming in ways that we never thought was possible. Is it possible for us to shift our priorities? If we are in a constant, busy, frenetic lifestyle, there has to be a pause. A pause where we take a breath, where we know that something different is possible. The pause to be still and know that the divine exists in us. Stillness doesn't immediately lead to knowing, but we have to be still first, and then we have to be present until the knowing comes. Another verse that popped into my head that I memorized years ago as a little Baptist child is, "Your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path," which is from Psalms 119. Words make a difference. Are you listening for positive, uplifting words? Are the words that you speak bringing those around you to a place of hopefulness? Where do you find the true words that give you hope? remembering that verse helped me this week because it reminded me that this moment we're in is a very small moment in the path of history. Our story reaches back to the beginning of time and moves on into a future that we cannot see. So we need reminding that the dominant story is not the ultimate story. What captures our attention today in the eon of time is a moment, not necessarily important. Looking back, I see how often I was carried through things I thought I couldn't even survive or live through. And yet I was guided to beautiful things that I couldn't ever have wished for. The world tries to tell us that the news this and that the news is what's real and what's important. But we are a people of a sacred story that has continued. Let us contend to the worries of the day we're in. Let us love what's ours to love, heal what's ours to heal, change what's possible to change. So let's not buy into a pathetic story about the world, a pathetic story about our future. Let's step back and take a more panoramic view of the limitless possibilities in which consciousness can manifest. Let us be the people who are drawn towards a reality beyond this one, not of heaven in the sky, but of peace on earth. Our unborn nature is our divine nature, so called because we have had it with us since the beginning of time. It never was born. Because of the possible future that we can co-create with each of us in this room, in this state, in this world, we can create a future that we can see together. So I tend to go to places where I look at things like hope versus trust. Because hope, faith, trust, they all sort of fit together. So hope is a noun. It's a desire accompanied by an expectation or a belief in. What's trust? It's a verb. We have to be able to place our confidence in. What can you place your confidence in today? How can you increase that awareness? And then faith, we're back to being a noun, but it says it's loyalty to, allegiance to, or duty to a person or an institution. Faith is an institution, a firm belief in something for which there is no proof. That's faith. That's trust. So it's interesting that those words often get used as synonyms when they're very different stories. When I think of hope, there's a story that I may have shared with you before. I know it's in my hope notes for Advent. It's about a man who lived in Maine, and he told of his little hometown that was in a river valley, and it was his hometown, his idealized place to live. And this was back when they were building TVA dams. And he was told that his town was going to disappear at the bottom of a lake when the Corps of Engineers built the TVA dam. The man said that the most painful part of that experience, besides the actual relocation, was watching his hometown die. He said all improvements stopped. All repairs stopped. What was the use of painting a house that was going to be buried at the bottom of a lake? Why repair a building when the whole village was going to be wiped out? Why worry about rubbish? Why worry about potholes in the street or graffiti on the walls? So week after week after week, the town became more and more bedraggled, more and more woebegone. Then he added the comment, when there is no faith in the future, there's no power in the present. How do we claim the power that exists in this present moment? That's our challenge. And it's not a challenge that happens on Sunday morning. It's a challenge that we live with every hour of the day. So as you go about this Christmas season, and as you might notice yourself, not perhaps feeling hopeless exactly, but that feeling of down, what difference does it make? Why does this matter? Why should I try? Being aware that each of us has the power not sometimes to change it for ourselves, but can I reach out to give you hope? Can you reach out to give me hope? So that I have a reason to get up, a reason to get dressed, a reason to begin my day. That's our challenge. Challenge for our own lives, but a challenge for everyone we come in contact, even the clerk in the grocery store. Can you get that person to smile? Can you get that person to feel appreciated? That's how we can expand hope in our world. So I invite you to simply take a deep breath. If you're comfortable, close your eyes and imagine hope. Hope being more than peak hearts and puppies. Hope being the reason for life, the reason for doing what's yours to do. Hope being the change that you would like to see in this world. How can we turn hopeless into hopeful? What is our part in that plan? Seeing it first for ourselves, seeing it for our friends and family, seeing it for every person on this earth. Do we have enough light in us to create hope for the people in Ukraine, for the people in Gaza, for the people in Syria? Can we truly see a world that lives without war? Can we see our brothers and our sisters filled with hopefulness, so that they too are working to change and save this world. Holding that vision as we spend just a few moments in the stillness. Choosing hope this Christmas season. Allowing every lighted candle, every light on a Christmas tree, every light in a window, to remind us of the hope we feel in our own hearts. Seeing that multiplying and spreading, seeing it moving like a silent wave until it touches everyone and changes their hearts. Allowing for the possibility that our hope can contribute to saving the world. So we simply say, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for each moment of hopefulness that we can share. Thank you for the ability to be together. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. So this is the time where there is an opportunity to support Unity on the Avenue. Many ways to give: old-fashioned cash, checks, the square at the back of the sanctuary. We also periodically throughout the year get checks from King Super. So if you've never registered your card at King Super, why, that would be a lovely way to painlessly give. So you can do that at their community rewards program. I don't remember to say that one very often. So I invite you to simply join with us in our offertory affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Sometimes we're in it and it almost, you want to clap and you aren't sure if it's the right thing to do. I understand that. And what Donalyn does, that's a sign if you don't really want to make noise to break the energy. So thank you, Robert. So we bless our children. Some days we have them, some days we don't. We bless our own inner children when we aren't blessed with children. And I invite you to send it out into the world. Children, you are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine being that you are. And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.